Hey, dreamers, welcome back to your Dream Coach podcast, where we talk about building your dream life and business from the inside out through leadership, fulfillment, and growth. I'm Shayla Wey. I'm a small business coach, growth strategist, and believer that when you lead with purpose, everything changes. And so in today's episode, I want to talk to you about one of the most important and humbling truths I've discovered on my journey. And I want to talk about what I've learned from being led and from being the leader. Because let's be honest, most of us get thrust into leadership without formal training. And before we lead, we're first shaped by the people who lead us. Some well and some not so well, but both teach you something. So whether you're leading a team, a business, or just trying to lead yourself better, I want to take you behind the curtain into the leadership lessons that changed everything for me and how you can apply them to build something extraordinary. So let's dive in. Well, the first thing I want to talk about that I've really learned is the best leaders lead themselves first. What I found is that you can't guide others if you aren't guiding yourself. And it starts with setting boundaries, modeling consistency, and managing your own inner world with integrity. Over time, I discovered that when I'm disciplined in my personal routines and transparent about my wins and weaknesses, my team feels safer stepping forward too. So, what you should do is build practices that keep you at your best: daily reflections, energy check ins, and commitment rituals, and really lead from the inside out. The second thing that I learned is being micromanaged taught me to empower. I've been there, someone watching your every move, second guessing every decision. It demoralizes you. But what I've also learned is that empowerment isn't about relinquishing responsibility. It's about trusting, encouraging autonomy, and setting really clear expectations. So when I shifted from controlling to coaching, what happened? Well, my team's confidence soared, their creativity started to blossom, and that was the time that, I thought I was giving up, and I actually gained that time back. So what I've learned that you should do is that transition from micromanaging to empowering by just setting clear roles, giving permission to make decisions, and offering regular feedback that starts to build ownership and therefore more growth. The third thing I learned is that fulfillment flows from purpose, not pressure. Performance-driven workspaces can feel impressive, but they're often empty. So I've worked in environments that prioritize targets over purpose, and energy evaporated really fast. In contrast, when I've led with a clear sense of why we do the work, who we're serving, and how it matters, motivation turned into momentum. And fulfillment isn't optional. It's the fuel that sustains leadership. So what should you do? Well, help your team connect their day-to-day to the bigger vision and check in regularly on their joy, not just their output. It's also easy to think communication is just about talking more. But what I've learned is that it's equally about consistency, tone, and unspoken cues. So you may send an email saying, "Great work," but if your body language says otherwise, your message gets lost. So as a leader, it's your job to close the gaps between what you say, how you say it, and what's actually heard. So what should you do? Well, practice clarity in not just your words, but your delivery, and create regular space for conversations, both team-wide and one-on-one. The fifth thing I've learned is that your leadership style will be a mirror. So your energy as a leader becomes a standard. When I rushed through meetings or showed up distracted, my team did too. But when I decided to lead with intention, focus, presence, kindness, and accountability, the energy in the room shifted. Good leadership isn't charismatic, it's contagious. So what should you do? Well, audit your energy, not just your results. Wherever you want to see growth, calm, focus, optimism, lead by becoming the example yourself first. The sixth lesson was correction without connection equals resistance. Feedback without emotional context feels like judgment. I used to deliver hard truths fast and lean, and I learned quickly that people shut down. Real transformation happened when I led with empathy first and then insight. So when correction is rooted in respect and makes someone feel seen, it becomes guidance, not criticism. So what should you do? Well, start feedback conversations with affirmation, then coach through growth areas with supportive clarity, and then follow up. The seventh thing I learned is it's not about you, but it starts with you. So, purpose driven leaders inspire action, but that vision only lands when someone has done the work to become resonant. I've seen leaders push vision without investing in their own growth first, and the message rings hollow. True influence starts when your inner world aligns with your outer mission. So, what should you do? Well, don't outsource your inner growth. Invest in mentorship, personal development, or therapy so your leadership is rooted in who you're becoming, not just what you're building. The eighth thing I've learned is that the best leaders make you braver. When someone believes in you, leaps feel less scary. I've had mentors who said, I believe in you. I believe you can do more than you think you can do. And those words unlocked courage I didn't even know I had. As a leader, our job isn't just to set expectations, it's to transfer belief so that our teams step into their potential. So, what should you do? Well, notice when someone underperforms, instead of punishing, lean into belief. Say, you've got this, and watch that boldness that opens up. The ninth thing I've learned is leadership without growth is just management. Management can maintain status quo. Leadership grows new ground. So I've worked across both worlds, and the difference is hard to ignore. Teams that feel invested in their development retain longer, innovate faster, and stay fueled when challenges come. So, what should you do? Well, combine performance KPIs with growth goals. Encourage stretch assignments, training days, and upward coaching, and model leaning and learning yourself to the higher level. And the 10th thing I've learned is legacy is built one moment at a time. Leadership isn't always about big wins. It's about small choices that you make day in and day out. A patient conversation, a thoughtful check in, a vulnerable, I'm human moment. These build trust over time. What I've realized is that those micro choices stacked over years create a legacy deeper than any trophy shelf. What should you do? Well, let's focus on making everyday leadership moments matter. Prioritize small acts of care and consistency that compound into impact far beyond the immediate. So, this week, I invite you to reflect on your leadership journey, not just what you're building, but who you're becoming along the way. So, ask yourself, how have I been led? What stuck and what didn't? How am I showing up as a leader today? And what micro actions can I commit to that build trust, connection, and growth? Share one takeaway with me on Instagram at Shayla Wey Coaching. I'd love to hear what leadership lesson landed for you. If this episode resonated, pass it on to someone on the team, in a coaching circle, or anyone still learning what it means to lead well. I'm super honored to be on this journey with you because your dream life starts with the way you lead, the way you live, and the way you grow. I'll see you next time on your Dream Coach podcast.